there's that, but then there's also the side of things where I'm worried about, I'm not very assertive. And we know that there's, some team members who I think that there'd be a lot of value if I could learn what they do and if they could show me what they do. But I guess I'm nervous about either trying to ask them about it, maybe feeling like annoying or feeling like they're going to think that, I'm stupid or not qualified because she can't figure this out and she's always asking us things. Or on the flip side, that they're just going to kind of run right over me and I'm not going to be able to keep up and like things are going to happen. And I would love to know how they did it. I would love to have more background because if I know what they did, I can replicate it in the future. But just worried that like I won't get that opportunity because they'll steamroll over me.
So I know we've talked a lot about you have a very powerful voice. And because you're quiet, when you speak up, people do listen.
You think so?
Very much so. I have seen that. But I would also say your passion, where are you trying, what do you love to do? Out of the things that you've seen, what do you absolutely love to do and work on?
I love solving puzzles. I love being presented with a problem and knowing the steps to take, like, being able to fill it out, like, when I write code, of puzzling and putting the pieces together to get to that solution.
So getting rid of the other pieces that don't fill your passion will give you the bandwidth to focus on that more. The forecasting, figuring out the puzzles and working toward that.
Yeah.
The other piece is you're definitely not dumb because you're absolutely brilliant. Being a mathematician, you're so beyond smart. And I can honestly tell you that the team really recognizes that too. So
I wish they would tell me that.
Don't let them take your voice away. The only person that can really take your voice away is you by not speaking up. And I know we've had a lot of discussions in that. So make sure that if you're curious about something you don't know, set up a meeting, put some time on their calendar. So that then it's a focused time and they're dedicated to that time to show you.
Okay.
And then it's not calling someone out in, say, a huddle or a meeting, and then having to call anybody out in front of the entire group. Because that's uncomfortable within itself.
And I guess it would also be like just embracing those moments of, hey, I know you might have walked me through this once, but that was a while ago. I don't remember it. Could we maybe go over it again? And like realizing that it's okay, that just because I don't know everything doesn't mean that they're going to think that like, well, she can't do her job or she's not qualified for this or, all those other things that we have also talked about.
Well, and because you've had to pivot and help the organization and the team, it's still a team. So now that we have a new member and a resource, and they're going to be taking on the piece that you had to pivot and fulfill, they'll be able to focus on that. So it's truly natural to circle back and say, hey, I know that we had worked on this before. I know that I had asked you about this before. Can you refresh my memory because it's been a while? And unfortunately, I haven't been able to focus on it because I was working on accounts receivable, making sure we get money in, because cash flow is king.
So we talked about this 2 months ago. It's understandable that even though I took notes, I just don't remember all of it or everything we talked about or how to do all the things we talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
Something I was introduced to, like we said, like 2 months ago that I haven't like touched since.
Yeah. No, and that's completely understandable. If you don't use something, like Excel, you're going to
Yeah.
lose it.
Yeah.
And having those refreshers, you're going to have them. And honestly, a lot of times, just even with the refreshers, building upon that too is a big help as well, because you'll make the process even better than what it is today.
That's a good point. Yeah. Actually, that's a really good point. That like, you just have to start somewhere, because you'll just, even if it's one step better, okay, well, you can look at it again, and next time it can be another step better, but at least it's an improvement.
Absolutely. Yes. And the more improvements you make, it'll make your life better and easier, because you're tweaking the process, you're driving those continuous improvements, making it better for not only you, but the organization. And then you can even focus more on some other passion exercises where you can solve more puzzles.